Hey, what's up, guys? This is Justin from Justice League Swag, and today I'm bringing you 100 Demons talk with some of our pros from the North America Future Card Buddy Fight Facebook page. So today we have with us Zach Zag himself, Zachary Grant.
What's up, guys?
All right, and we have Krishev Desai. What's your channel name again, Krishev?
Team Zach for the win. Hey, everyone.
Okay, for the one, okay. Their links to their channels will be in the video and the description at the end of the stream. So I guess we're gonna kick it off with Yamigeto 100 Demons deck builds.
Okay, I guess you could probably start off, Krish, if you want, since you're more experienced with the Yamigeto deck.
Yeah, sure. The main stuff with the Yamigeto deck is it's really the only 100 demon deck with like a proper engine, because when you look at 100 demons as a whole, they've got really powerful cards, but what tends to happen is they don't have enough cohesive support to really link them. Yamigeto has hasted evolution Yamigeto, which is a size 0. And it's got a counteract ability during the final phase. You can call a Yamigeto from your deck by paying the call cost. And as a bonus, he gives Thundermine for when your opponent's item attacks to the Yamigeto. So he's really good. And he's kind of the gel of the deck, because without him, you start being forced to run backup grade 3s. What I'm sure Zach will talk about in a little bit was kind of size 300 demons, and that was the big thing back a couple of formats ago around December last year, before we got hasted evolution. But the main thing that Yamigeto decks tend to do is get Yamigeto on the field turn 1 or turn 2, and you almost always get it turn 1 because of hasted evolution. You run Gauge Excel, you run the impacts, Shirio Barekandachi or something, I can't pronounce it.
I think that's right.
There are no places for you to run. They're the ones you tend to run because no places for you to run. You run O Yamigeto and you run the original Yamigeto, or if you can't get him because he's expensive, and obviously I understand that. The promo Yamigetos are actually pretty good besides Goku. And even resurrected, you'll have to build around them a little bit, but you can make do. They become super abusable with their own place for you to run. Like if you can get 2 Yamigeto in Soul, that's ridiculous. And you basically just sit on your big fat Yamigeto wall, and you protect it, and you grind your opponent out, and against pretty much anything but burn, you win. And that's kind of what Yamigeto deck does. It's kind of Sega, but more fun, more versatile, and better.
Yeah, I agree with that. And some of the highlights to the Yamigeto deck, so it's like Krishev said, that you might not be able to afford the original Yamigeto, which is completely understandable.
Yeah, he's expensive as man.
But the nice part about 100 Demons themselves is that they have access to cards that can self-inflict damage to make Yamigeto live fairly quickly.
Yeah.
So you're not falling...
there's a 4-crit katana weapon, which does 1 damage every time you attack. And you use it in combination with Lindworm, so you get a moving Yamigeto. So obviously, as Zach said, you can get yourself into life break for O Yamigeto and start threatening your opponent and go for the kill when you otherwise wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, and with Lindworm, it's just a big butt just standing in the way all the time. So,
Yeah.
And the nice part about some of the other things is like there are access to other cards that we can describe in more detail later, but like Cositus or other cards with lifelink will also help propel you into life break for O Yamigeto. So it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. Was there any other features of the Yamigeto decks? I know that the O Yamigeto, I think his stats are actually pretty favorable at 8. To me,
828.
The 828 is very favorable. I didn't realize it until I started playing Krishev's list that how much Pathetic just wrecks Aster.
Worth pointing out. It's not only my list. Joel did a lot of work, but his original list was pretty janky. I gave suggestions. He worked out some kinks, and the list is what it is now. Because I know he'll want credit and he'll get on his period if I don't give it to him.
The 8's awesome.
Yeah, Pathetic is one of the greatest tools the 100 Demons have, because it's not that good in Tier 3 Magic World, or Magic World in general, but in 100 Demons it is like the shit. And No Brainer as well is such a good tool. Glacial Avalus, that's a really good card in Yamigeto. The Thundermine when you Thundermine.
Oh yeah. That card is basically the Yamigeto Light, Yamigeto Junior.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the card that's a size 0. So I mean, he directly supports the Yamigeto, and he's like a 2/1/2 or something. So his stats are terrible, but like not god awful. So you can link it to some number.
Who gives a shit, man? He does extra damage.
But you take a Thundermine from drawing, you take an extra Thundermine. His is only once per turn, not abusive like any of the Yamigeto ones. But...
Oh my god, if he wasn't once per turn, he would literally be broken, like so broken.
Secret pack only.
Please no.
But how much money do you guys say it is to play 100 Demons?
Do you have a real job? Can you afford it?
I mean, first of all, break the pay barrier. But beyond that, it's pretty easy to get to grips with what you're meant to do. The difficulty lies in the intricacies in the matchups, where sometimes it's pretty obvious. Like if you're going against a rush deck, drop Yamigeto, protect the motherfucker, otherwise you're screwed, right? But with something like Black Dragons, it's a lot more difficult to judge what you need to do. Like, do I let this Yamigeto die now and stop the burn damage, or do I Soul Guard him and try and win next turn? It's more about in-the-moment decisions rather than a long game plan kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about with Black Dragons. I feel like it's no use figuring it out on paper right now, just because I'm sure Justin will be doing it to me for weeks, trying to figure out what the heck I'm supposed to do here. But like the scary part to me is with Black Dragons against the Yamigeto matchup. So let's say pretty easily you could get a 2-soul Yamigeto, right? And with Black Dragons, if they kill it 1 to 2 times, they still have their attack speed on.
Yeah, so dumb.
And it's like I'm kind of scared of this bullshit.
But in fairness, Black Dragons do it to everything, so we're not alone.
Yeah, and it's not like you can kill the dude yourself to prevent the damage, right?
Yeah.
It's whenever the monster is destroyed or something. So even if you like you could try and stop the bleed with that Danger World spell, maybe. But you would just be
it just needs some form of counter destruction, or if it could get like a size 0 which you can send to Soul. Or you can discard or something, and it makes Yamigeto like undestroyable for the turn.
Yeah, dark energy kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, dark energy would be so good.
Well, the counterattack for the turn would also be pretty tight.
That'd be pretty cool too.
But I mean, Yamigeto's got a lot of stuff going for it, because I think I've heard Christoph go on before saying it's one of the more defensive decks that are available right now, just because you have cards like Pathetic, Guido Shield, Yamitage. You have the Goblin, but I feel like that scoring thing really. It's harder to play with the big butt deck just because they're always going to link attack.
I mean, it's mainly that Yamitage and Guido Shield are the best shields in the game. Like, I don't think anyone would disagree, because specific to the deck, you always have those 100 demons on the field. Like, you're never not going to have 2 on the field, so you always it's really good.
Yeah, the nice part about the Guido Shield and the Yamitages, though, too, it doesn't specify monsters. So your set spells, your weapons, make those kinds of cards live. And a lot of the times I feel like you're relying on having the set spell or weapon for your Guido Shield and Yamigeto deck.
A lot of the time your opponents forget that your sets or your items count towards it. So they won't check your field carefully. They'll just link attack you, thinking, right, I've got my spell null in hand. He can only use Yamitage. He's only got a weapon on the field. They forget about your set Fuchigami, and you just drop Ghetto Shield, and they cry.
Yep, and not to forget that for those who don't know, the Ghetto Shield deals a damage to your opponent when they cast it.
It's so good.
So like there have been many burn novas who have died on entry, basically.
That's great. I look for every way possible to troll burn over.
Yeah, that card is annoying. I had someone burn over me today, and I was very upset, but I had 3 shields, so I was alright.
I'm really not sure what to do with Burn Over and 100 Demons. I really want to run him. I really want to feel like he could be so good. But the moment you drop him, like, you're kind of locked out of playing anything else.
It's
You
true.
lose.
Like, you just have to start top decking like a champ at that point, but even then, it's like... I think he's a card that could go in there, because a lot of times with me and Burn Nova, it's like, if a deck can get to the 3 gauge, you know, fairly consistently, pretty easily, that it's probably worth a shot, but I've never put him in. I don't know why.
Yeah. Like, especially, I think 100 Demons, he's probably got the strongest case because if there is no place for you to run. Like, if I can get an original Yamigato in the Soul and drop Burn Nova, like, I don't care if you're nulling, you're dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you'd have to draw it after.
Getting a Yamigato into the Soul if there are no place for you to run is pretty much a given because you're only two. I only 2 of it, so you can get it later on anyway.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so if we continue on with, I guess, the Yamigeto type thoughts, he does have other monsters that support him besides the Glass Labilus.
Yeah.
We got Lasty and Faust as prime
Yeah.
examples, right?
Now, the problem with Faust is I just haven't been able to find the space, but like because you need the Gauge Excel that comes from Cocytus, and I really want to run Faust because I feel like he would do a really good job in helping the Black Dragon matchup, but I don't know.
To me, the Cocytus. So I guess if we jump right into Cocytus too, because technically he's indirect support because he's 1 Gauge Excel, 2
Yeah.
Gauge Interruption, and 3 Lifelink. So I mean, all those things
It's really good.
But Cocytus gets a gauge, kills one of your opponent's gauge, super useful for preventing, like, I don't know, dark energies, death grips, what have you, from even appearing on the field.
That's a nice 3 gauge you got there. Nice Burn Nova in hand. Cocytus.
There have been times in the Star Dragon World matchup where they had, like, 1 gauge, and they had the size 3 Nullify in their hand, and I opened with Cocytus before going into my size 3, and it completely stopped them.
Destroys them, yeah.
But I think Faust he's good just because, you know, he becomes a size 0 with 5,000 attack power and 2 critical.
I want to run him, but then that's more money.
Yeah. Well, he's not too bad right now, but like
Like $12.
Really? Oh shit! I got mine for 4.
Yeah, no. Four's fine. I got my Cocytuses back when they were 2.
Oh god, that must have been nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, Faust is he doesn't prevent destruction, but if the monster would be destroyed, he can be discarded instead. So Black Dragons still get still do the wrecking that they plan on doing.
You just have to make them spend a little more to do it.
And usually he all he does is he draws an attack before everything else.
Yeah.
But and then the other card is Lasty.
Lasty is I think it's a 2/1/2.
I think so.
Or no, maybe a 3/1/1.
Yeah, 3.
3/1/1.
Yeah, 3/1/1. He's just got a simple act ability where you can just put him into Soul. It's just really good. Like you'll side him out against matchups with lots of against Black Dragons or something because you don't want to build up Soul really. But you know, he's just nice to have.
Yeah, being a 0/2 is its own benefit, just so you have extra field presence at the same time. Just because if you're forced into linking attacking because 7 or 8 isn't cutting it, 10 or 11's a respectable number. If you're against Ein and you somehow didn't go into original Yamigeto, or even if you did go against with original Yamigeto and you have 4 attackers now, for them to nullify each one and take a damage.
Yeah.
I think that was my introduction into 100 Demons. I was playing Ein, and he dropped a Yamigeto on the second turn with 2 zeros and a weapon. And I was going like, "What the fuck is this? Let me look at my weapon. Let me look at your card. God damn it!" That was so mean. The I only won one of those 3 games because I had decided to just put full burst into my deck, and it wrecked his Cositis.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say about 100 Demons because once you get the build down, they're pretty, it shouldn't really change a huge amount with Yamageto deck. Like there's basically 3 major versions. There's size 3, Yamageto, Thundermine.
Yeah, and for me the Thundermine's kind of weird too, because
it's pretty crappy to be honest. It just doesn't have the support.
I'd rather just play like a Yami-Geto deck and call it a Thundermine deck at that point. Just like
it's like the Thundermines are so powerful. Some of them, like Megidos, which is a Thundermine. Whenever you pay a gauge, is like what? But like you need to open so well for the deck to be strong when it's Thundermine. Like if they get something like I don't know a card for a set spell, like when you call a Yami-Geto, search your deck for up to 3 monsters with Thundermine and put it into its soul or something, and you give that to Resurrected, like, damn.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
That'd be super broken. But like, it's just not. It's not really gonna happen.
No, like the deck is just too iffy. I mean, at first I thought there might have been promise. I mean, if you can get that impact off consistently, it does do a lot of like blowing up shit. But like, I feel like 100 Demons, the biggest hurdle that most people have is trying to figure out what they want to do to begin with.
Yeah.
And they have so many options that it just might get too confusing and turn people off.
Yeah, it was a bit. I had one of my friends tell me that it was just overwhelming trying to decide what to use, so he just decided to just drop it.
And the thing is, you just kind of keep using, I don't know, size 3s or boss monsters until you run into something you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is an excellent transitioning point, but so a deck that I enjoy using a lot is the size 300 Demons.
Yep.
And the size 300 Demons, to me, they revolve around mostly Great Leader Anson, and he's like a 9/2/7, and he can pick up a 2 or less from the drop and call it to the field as a size 0. And his prime target for this is Cositis, just because of the gauge interruption he offers. You'd be surprised how many decks get interrupted just because you're killing 1, 2, 3 gauge.
Yeah.
White Dragons.
Yeah. Hating on that gauge is so
hurt
nice.
So bad.
And like go ahead.
Yeah, Anson is pretty basically 100 Demons weren't that good until EVO 3. They got the whole extra booster, and Anson was in that set. And like size 300 Demons were pretty much the first time 100 Demons were really viable. And I took it to regionals, and I managed to get top 8 with it. And it's a super strong deck, but the problem always was gauge. And I think that's been relatively fixed now, because I remember you were telling me you've had much more success with it now than you were before.
Oh yeah, I mean, it is kind of crazy how reliant the deck is on Starved Yami-Geto. But a common solution that I've seen between both our lists is an underdog that I've found in Oddbird Harpy.
Yeah.
The size 1, it's like 4/1/3, so I mean its stats aren't irrelevant. I mean they're respectable, but the fact is when she comes into play, you get a gauge.
Yeah, exactly.
And for me, being able to get the 2 gauge in 1 turn, that's extremely useful because all my size 3s, except for the exception of Yami-Geto, cost 2 gauge. And that's it. I mean, in most cases, Starved Yami-Geto by itself will maintain upkeep. And the charge and draw is what allows me to start playing the like Geto shields or what have you. But the Oddbird Harpy is what ensured the fact that I could actually get the extra gauge going. Because a lot of times it might have just been perfect upkeep. It might have been like my dude dies, I get a gauge, I charge and draw, I have 2 gauge again. If I had Oddbird Harpy, I could go first. It would create the 3rd gauge for Yami-Geto, or I'd have the 3rd gauge to cast a shield, which is essential. But the size 3 deck, so I do play a number of them. I think one of the MVPs is Goku Mangayo. He is the trial deck general. He is an 8/2/6 for 2 gauge, and you have to have 100 demon drop. And he is pretty fantastic just because he could also pluck a hasted evolution from the drop. to put it into his soul. So you're just like you're being a jerk for that. And he's got the 8K clearing power, so he gets over most things. And then with the number of double attackers in the deck, so in my opinion, my size 300 demons play regular Yamigeto and O Yamigeto, Goku Mangayo. I actually play one copy of the Katana World one from time to time, just because he is a 10-5 that is resurrectable. So if I have only garbage in my hand, or if I have an Oddbird Harpy, play the Oddbird Harpy, sack the Oddbird Harpy to get a 10-5 double attacker. All these double attackers create so much versatility in being able to wipe the board with one of my favorite cards in the deck, No Brainer, 100 Demon Sorcery.
Oh, so good.
It's
so broken.
It's abusive on a guy with just attacks once, but put it on a double attacker, he annihilates an entire field.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think was the video you sent me one time where a Japanese player played against Megiddo Talica. No brainer on Chant Will Die after using Chant Will Die skill. It was just like rip. He took out that Megiddo Talica in one turn, and it had like I would say probably about 25 to 30 cards in soul.
It was disgusting.
No Brain is such a powerful card, and no one runs it. Like, why? It's in the name. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. This is a card that's like always a 4 of in like between the main and the side, because there are some matchups arguably that it just sucks. But I mean, if you're playing against 5th Omni, to me this is like your prime solution for getting rid of Drum. Because they could nullify the attack. Who cares? You pop the soul and destroyed it, and then you attack it.
Like I only play 3, 2 in main, 1 inside, but that's because I play some silly Mukuro shenanigans in the sideboard.
Oh yeah, I see. Which is respectable, because I mean, with the size 3 deck like the Yamigeto or the size 300 demons, Shadow Dive is annoying as shit.
Yeah. So you just drop Mukuro, you got that 5k body, and it's like, yeah, well, you're linking now, and I'm not an idiot. I'm gonna use my Yamitage.
But there are a lot of options. I think for the Anson deck, it is assembling a good toolbox of cards to kind of play around with.
Yeah.
So it's like having the 4 Cositis, because I buddy it. You could do something else if you wanted to. But I have found success with the Armonite Lion Drake, just because he's a 7/1/5 double attacker, size 2, for free. And him and No Brainer, again, a very lethal combination. He controls the board very well. There are some decks that, killing the gauge does virtually nothing to them, because some decks like Dragon World or Star Dragon World, I find, have just kind of a 1 gauge upkeep if they have their weapon equipped.
Or they just crap out Cage anyway, like Danger World. I think Joel constantly was able to generate like 4 gauge a turn or something when I was playing as Dual Dragons. So it's kind of like a bit pointless.
But it could help early though, because if they don't get into that in the first turn or two,
exactly.
It's a huge disruption.
With 100 Demons, it's all about setting yourself up really, really quickly. Because that was kind of the problem with Thundermine, with size 3 before, that you didn't have a consistent way to get into a boss monster. Like, if you didn't draw a size 3, that's it, you were losing that game. Like, that's why I lost in top 8, because I didn't draw any size 3s. With Thundermine, if you didn't open God tier, you didn't have recovery, so you couldn't go into it. And that's why, like, if you can open a Cocytus and then you can go into, like, sack it, go into Anson, bring it back, that gauge disruption is usually too much to recover from.
Usually for most decks, I mean, because they only got if they're lucky, they have a blue shield, and maybe they can recover from it or something. But there's only one world that has that. Well, two worlds that have a blue shield, I guess, because Stars got their.
Yeah, but it just doesn't really happen.
Yeah, it's quite devastating, and I mean, Cocytus can win you games on his own, because I've stopped Demon Gold decks that don't run into their Gauge Excel. If they can't take the 1 to get 3 Gauge or whatever, it really hurts, just because they need, 3 Gauge for their Demon Gold normally.
Yeah, it's like...
snipe the 1 away, so it's like 2 Gauge, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to play my little 1, keep going, do whatever, but... The deck, I think, my favorite part is the versatility, just because Anson and the size 3s allow you to kind of be reactive. I'm not trying to bank on being on the same monster the entire time. My Yamigeto might not get more than 1 soul. If 2 soul, if I'm lucky. Like, if I'm tired of, like, because a lot of time people will just bully the cards around Anson.
Yeah.
So I'll just, just put a Yamigeto on top of Anson.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Yamigeto deck is so powerful, is because 3-soul Yamigeto, it's just pretty much every time.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I realized most too about the Yamigeto was how important Lindworm was to the deck.
Yeah, Lindworm is so much more key than we originally thought. Like, it kind of fell out during size 3, and then it's just come back for Yamigeto, and it works so well.
Just because you get to make sure your life is basically on your own terms.
Yeah.
I noticed you guys don't really play any Omnilords in your decks, because I know, Christian, you said that you side for Shadow Dive. You side in Mukuro, which is a good idea. Awesome.
There's one Omnilord that's always played in 100 Demons, though. To me, and that's Count Don.
Yeah, exactly. Count Don, he's so good. It's just that one life, you have your 4K beater. Like,
yeah.
And sometimes when your opponent doesn't have any other options, they'll just clear that, because that 1 damage ping for when you call them back is more than they'll be able to do usually, and oftentimes that actually helps, because then it clears off your field, so you don't have it stuck there, so you can then like call some more stuff and go into a big Yamigeto or something.
What I have done more frequently than I thought I would was just open Dawn, Starve Yamigeto. And just kind of inadvertent engage Excel, right?
Yeah.
Where you're all of a sudden you're generating the 1 extra gauge, and now you have no problem for the rest of the game with gauge upkeep, just because getting the 1 to 2 extra gauge helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Dawn can life break you for Yamigeto.
Yep.
And you draw spells. Oh, that's pretty good.
I'm considering sliding an Inverse Dawn for the Black Dragon matchup, but it just doesn't help that much. Like,
I don't think it does either, because he can't come. He's not as reliable, I guess the word is. Like, Dawn has his ability to reoccur.
Perhaps damage control.
Damage control. I don't know. Honestly, I would say to beat Black Dragons with 100 Demons, you just need to take away their gauge. Because if you look at it, like, all of their best monsters now cost 1 gauge. Then their Death Grips and everything else is 1 gauge. Even the 100 Demon sorcery that they have, that you destroy a monster and gain life equals to its size, is 1 gauge. It's like every single card, weapons, all 1 gauge. If you're taking, like, if you could Coxetus or double Coxetus, like, their first turn before they even get a turn, like, that would crush.
That's a good point. So I mean, there's no real reason to have an aversion to the Dark Dragon matchup just yet, because I feel like there are some spells that haven't really been looked at. Because the one thing that I was thinking of at the time that I was trying to formulate a plan was that there's this Magic World spell that I think is for Wizards or 100 Demons. If you have like a size 2 or greater 100 Demon or Wizard on the field and your monster's destroyed, you get to destroy one of their monsters.
Yeah. I don't think that would be as helpful, because most decks are going to be running Dark Fog at 3 to 4.
Well, so you're responding. No, I guess you wouldn't respond.
Yeah, you can't respond.
No, you can't respond.
Fog before
you can't respond because you activate your ability.
Yeah, it's a destruction place timing.
I'm getting at least 1 destruction. So at that point, it's a wash. And then if you don't have Dark Fog, well, I mean.
Well, at that point though, because I mean, Cocytus in that perfect world, right?
Yeah.
He's already interrupting some of your gauge, and being forced into Dark Fogging probably hinders another move that you could make.
And even then, Dark Fog is 1 gauge. Like, literally everything that's good in Darkness Dragon World right now. Well, for Black Dragons, it's 1 gauge. Every weapon, almost every spell, every monster is 1 gauge or more. Oh, it's a little disgusting. So I don't think you would have much problem if you could take out their gauge fast and just keep taking away their gauge.
Yeah, no, I see what Zach means. Do or die.
I think. Oh yeah, I think so. It's got like 2 wizards on it or something.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, actually, maybe Go Away might work. It's 2 gauge and it returns all size 2 or less. It doesn't have counter, but it returns all size 2 or less monsters on your opponent's field to the hand. Like, that's not ideal, but it removes the threat, and they've already wasted the gauge.
Yeah.
That's a big middle finger too.
Potentially. I'll test that out. I'll test that out.
Yeah, there's a lot of other cards that we haven't been looking at just because the format hasn't really just called for more of a sit and defend kind of, but like
Yeah.
there's probably something else there that there hasn't been really looked at. And that again, some more of the appeal of the 100 Demons is that there's so much that you can do.
So much that you can just look through and try.
Like, and I didn't even consider that 4-crit Katana World Sword until I saw it in that list,
Yeah,
and I was like,
the cogs start turning. You're like, wait, then I can control my life, then I can get into Yamigeto, and it's 4-crit, and if I'm with normal Yamigeto, then they want to block it, so then take Thunderlight. And if I've got Glacial Lavalas on the field, they take 2.
yeah.
And it all just adds up so quickly.
Before I was just using the trial deck, trial deck sword, which is, it's still a respectable weapon.
It's really good, but then you have more reason to abuse Lindworm with the 4-crit.
Yep, and that's exactly it though.
Yeah.
He's nice. He's nice. They have a lot of weapons though too, right? Because they just had that new Darkness Dragon World dagger that I kind of want to run, but it doesn't seem too great to me.
Joel and I did try it. It just didn't work. Like.
Yeah. I'm having with it now. There's not enough damage for it in Black Dragons. I mean, it's good to keep up with the hand size, but it's like having that, dealing 3 to 4 damage with a weapon every turn would be ideal, as opposed to that. Like right now, I'm running it at 2 just because the damage is so weak, and I'd only need it for like center base decks to sneak in damage and draw. But ideally, yeah, you're better off with that sword. Or if you really want to gauge, you could even run the fist in there too, if you wanted to. Because that
No, I mean, if you really wanted the gauge, there was I can't remember what it was. I think there was some spell which was hard gauge excel.
I don't remember.
Oh no, it was Ryger. That was life gain. No.
Oh yeah, that spell is also very awesome.
Ryger might.
No, because it destroys your monster.
Destroys the monster. Why couldn't it just be gain 3?
If anything, you'd be making it a wash at that point.
Yeah, you'd be a neg 1. You just lost a card in your hand for no reason.
Yeah. But
so just looking through these.
What was that?
I'm just looking through all these spells and trying to find something.
Some answer. I mean, in addition to Cositis, though, if you wanted to be like a super dick, the Skull Warriors just got a monster that is also capable of killing Gage.
Yeah, that was it was on entry, wasn't it?
Yep, on entry. He kills a Gage. He doesn't get you one, but he is a 3-crit dude who kills Gage. Size 2, I think.
The thing is, you want Cocytus for the gauge gain, and you just stick him in Soul anyway, so...
Yeah. But, I mean, extra options to ensure that some kind of gauge removal is present, but I don't know.
I suppose, if you tried Odd Festival, and you ran kind of a Skull Warrior engine...
Yep, that would be pretty dope, just because I was thinking... just because he dies, you get it back, he dies, you get it back, he dies, you get it back.
And you got Lindworm, so you got the life, that's no problem.
Mm-hmm. And you've got Ryga too for the times that they decide to null attacks or something.
Yeah.
So
I want to try that out.
Yeah, there's something
that
there.
could actually work.
And the nice part about the odd ritual, you could start running the Skull Warrior 0 again in Yamigeto.deck to force life break.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that was done originally just because it was one of those things where it was nice to get more offensive pressure since Yamigeto was already capable of clearing everything and being able to provide more attacks made the deck pretty aggressive back in the day, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess an interesting part to 100 Demons is they do have a lot of set spells.
Yeah, they got so many. That was a big thing back with HEBO3 because you ran what's his name, the wizard who searched the set spell.
Oh, shit.
Which
I
we
still
gave.
like him, but he's the dude with the
Yeah,
hat.
yeah. So you ran him to kind of make your set spells consistent. So you could run like more varieties. So you could run Gate of Darkness, Dragon World. Gate of Dragon World was a really good side. Yeah, I mean when skulls come back in, Gate of Dragon slays them.
The other thing I talked about was that Dungeon World one that I liked a lot. The
Which
one
was
that
Dungeon World? Was that Break
the
the Chain?
evil deity altar.
Oh yeah.
I found that one worked a lot in my deck just because if you let's say you opened with it and you play Cositis or something. So I mean the card itself, for those who don't know, it is a free set spell, and you take the top 3 cards of your deck and put it into its soul. Every time a monster in your field is destroyed, you take a soul out of it. When its soul becomes 0, you get to call a size 3 from the drop by paying its call cost. So a lot of the times I was forcing this card into kind of an extra attack phase. So like you open Cositis, or you open some 2 soul dude. So let's say you Goku Mangayo or somehow when you get the thing out. Goku Mangayo dies twice. You get 2 gauge. You go to your turn. You have 1 soul in Evil Deity Altar. Let's say you play your Anson field. So you get your Nabat at the time, the Great Leader Anson and a Cositis. You swing with those guys, and then you power Raiga, one of your guys, to destroy it. You gain 3 life. You lose a soul out of Evil Deity Altar, and then you pluck a size 3 from the drop zone. So it could be Goku Mangayo, or it could be a Yamigeto, and all of a sudden you're getting another attack, like another guy that's capable of attacking.
Yeah.
I'm finally here, ladies and gentlemen.
Connor just joined the stream at the very end. We've already gone through like almost everything.
Well, I'll just brush up on my point of view of stuff. Is protect Yamigeto like it's Bay. That's how you play 100 Demons.
Word of wisdom.
That already. Protect Yamigeto like it's Bay, but Christian's already covered that. I'm just going to count all of the things that you say that have already been said, okay?
That's fine. I'm sorry, I legit have been dealing with like 1,000 and million different things in the last.
Yeah, but I appreciate you covering the Ancient World stream. I'll also tag your channel.
Yeah. Do you guys know as a Hero World card, you've finally done it? You can only cast it when you take damage from an opponent's card. Draw a card, then if you've got a Dark Hero or 100 Demons, deal 1. That could be good against Black Dragons. Because it burns for them burning, and it gives you hand.
Yeah. When did this come out?
HEBO 3.
What was the name one more time for me?
You've finally done it.
Oh, you finally. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, there's just so many cards that you don't even look at on a normal basis. Like if Area had a 100 Demons button, it'd probably be a lot simpler.
Joel! Sort it out, man.
So, we was watching, but I think that pretty much covers 100 Demons. Like you covered like the size 3, the size 3 format, and then the Yamigeto. Are those like the only like 2 competitive ways to play it right now?
Pretty much. I can't think of anything.
Yeah. When 5th Omnis came, Thundermine went out the door.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Pure Thundermine just... It's like, I mean, the thing is, 5th Omnis are expensive as well. Like, because of 5th Omni Drum.
Well, yeah, but then...
They're less expensive than 100 Demons or Jackknife. So...
Yeah, we just got jacked, like, today, so...
No, you're talking about the new 5th Omni Jack. Hey, I think we were talking about the Secret Pack Jack.
Yeah, the Secret Pack Jack. Although Emperor is a big deal as well. actually, the massive problem I have, like, they could have made the new Yamigeto so good. Like, I think there's, because he's a monster and he's not an impact monster.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, hold on.
The two things the two things that to me when it came to the new Yamigeto fix him would have been a mill 3 instead of a mill 5, and his answer effect was till the end of your opponent's turn or permanent instead of just your turn.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
But the reason I say if he was an impact monster, he becomes, like, with hasted evolution, he's just a finisher. Like, go into him, that's an extra 4 crit.
Okay, to making the 100 Demons, button on area, Joel says in all caps, I have no control over that.
I would think you would, just because that's like an underlying programming thing, isn't it?
I don't know. But I want to thank you guys for participating in this 100 Demons cast, because I know 100 Demons can be like really frustrating trying to build. I kind of stopped building the deck like a few days ago, but for other reasons. So thank you for giving your take on things, what's good, what's bad, do's and don'ts. As Christian said, I think it was before we started streaming that we're kind of in like rock, paper, scissors format now. And it's like Black Dragons look like they hard counter 100 Demons.
And Asta.
But Hero World
sorry, not Asta.
Black Dragons really bad.
And yeah, like Asta deals with Asta also deals with Black Dragons because he can't be popped by effects.
Yeah.
So, but then 100 Demons have a pretty good matchup with Asta, and so does Dark Heroes. So like, it's just a toss-up.
Yeah, it's like rock, paper, scissors in this format right now. So, saddened for you, whatever's.
Still better than Kaiserion.
Oh my gosh, Kaiserion just rapes.
I still hate that deck.
Oh man. If you manage to get a top with Kaiserion, and you think that you topping was any display of skill,
it was.
That you deserved the top. Like, just go kill yourself. Like, I'll buy a rope for you. I'll mail it. I'll put together a special package just for you.
I have so many issues with that deck.
Barbed wire, because they forgot Hero World was a thing, and then like a lot of Hero World decks started topping the game.
It's just Kaiserion wouldn't have been an issue if those 3 animal buddies didn't decide to hop on top of him.
But yeah, but they were gonna give, like, it's not really even all 3 of them. Like, Slash Shark's annoying.
It's
Savard. That double attack is what made him really deadly, because he just sat there and like 4 crit.
Double attack, penetrate, good GG, two gauge impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why was
impact? What the hell was that?
Why was that impact 2 gauge? If it was 2 gauge,
4 gauge.
I've gone from 13 to 0 in one game because they have a 4 crit Kaiserion and they have full drive. Like, what the hell?
There's nothing other you can do. That was one of the main reasons I started playing that Raiga card, just so when they do try to like kill me for game with their damn impact, I just go up in life and not die.
But actually Dragon World, we have out now. Bad Trap.
There's a really funny.
Once this come out, it's going to be a main board card.
Yeah. That's it's the one that gains 4 life when they cast an impact, right?
Yeah.
That's 100 Demon.
It's 100 Demon.
Yes, win, boys.
We're getting in there.
Getting good, but thank you guys for participating on the stream. I'm going to end it here. If you have any questions for 100 Demons, please ask Krishiv, Zach, or Connor either here on this video, and I'll get the messages to them, or on our Facebook group on North America Future Card Buddy Fight. Also, you can ask Joel. I don't think there's too many other people that are good with 100 demons, so just ask those guys. All right, and
Gotta show the dedication.
I'm gonna link their channels to the description in this video. All right, but any closing remarks from you guys?
Nope, no comments from here. I mean, you can follow me on YouTube for youtube.com/zagzag, more plugs, and facebook.com/zagzag.
Okay.
Thanks.
Follow my
if
YouTube
you guys
channel
want to see,
and embrace the darkness. That is the key.
if you guys want to see a 100 Demons deck profile, I suggest you hop right on over to Team Sack for the win. We'll take good care of you because we got a good one.
I love how the guy that comes in at like the last 5 minutes inserts a plug first.
Don't go there.
Hey.
But all right, guys, thanks.